Hello, this is FA from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. Today we're going to be reviewing the Vindicator action figure for Marvel Legends. It came in a set with other Alpha Flight action figures a few years ago right now. The reason I'm reviewing this today is because it's Canada Day. I've reviewed Guardian, Vindicator's husband, a few years ago. Last week I reviewed Aurora, who's a Quebecer, on Saint Jean-Baptiste Day, which is the Quebec or Francophone Canadians' national holiday in Canada. And last year I did review North Star on a similar day. So this is the Vindicator action figure, and let's start. So Vindicator has one of the female bodies used with many Marvel Legends action figures. I don't know which one it is, but it is not the same as Aurora or Snowbird. In the comics, Vindicator is Guardian's wife. She wears glasses, which is why she has goggles instead of a regular mask. She would look like an older Oracle or Barbara Gordon in the comics. She used her husband's extra suit when he died so she could become a superhero and lead the Alpha Flight team. Before that, she used to be a secretary. It's a big upgrade for the character. It's interesting because she really came into her own and became one of the best leaders of the Marvel Universe from a superhero team. It's a basic action figure. There's not much to say about her. It would have been fun if Hasbro gave her some fire laser beam effect, plasma effect that you could put in her hands, but they did not. She has the usual female articulations that we'll look at right now. So she does have a ponytail that can swirl around, but not go up and down really much. Her head sits really high on her ball joint. This is not nice. She has the lollipop look, which is not very good. I think her head should sit a bit lower because the range we get, the side to side, is not that great anyway. One thing for sure, because she has a ponytail, she doesn't have the problem that many female action figures have, where you can't move their heads. You can definitely move hers around. So she can look up and down, not even that much. So if she's flying, and she does have a big hole in her back, if she's flying, she's kind of limited in what you can do in terms of pausing, if she can't look that much up. So having her head sit so high on her neck is not a good thing, and it doesn't look good at all also. Now I see that the peg can move, but I don't want to push it for fear of breaking her head, but it looks broken anyway. There's a lot of Spider-Man action figures that have this look, and it's not nice to look at. She does have a torso joint, which moves much more than Aurora's. It does twist a bit, but not that much. And when you do, it does come in the way of the Canadian maple leaf flag, which, by the way, is painted horribly on Vindicator's body. Guardian's flag looks a bit better, but not that much. And speaking of flag and coloring, you can see that the red used on both figures is not the same. It doesn't match at all. Even the white. Guardian has a more pearly white. She has a pearly white that has less gray in it. You can raise her shoulders, I guess if you force it a bit to 90 degrees, and it seems that the base plastic is all white and that it was painted red, even those parts here. Well, I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so the torso is white and painted red here, but the arms, if you look at the joints, they look like they were painted somehow. So I'm not sure what the base color for the plastic is. It looks like it could be red, but I'm not sure on this. But the red doesn't match this one nor that one anyway. It's normal that the torso be made of a different plastic than the tummy, but here the plastic doesn't fit and the red doesn't fit either. It's not the same red, it's not the same white either. You look here, the white of her tummy, abdominals and waist is not the same white as her torso here. Not good. So she has single articulations at the arms, which can also swivel like many Marvel Legends action figures. And then she has hands that can go in and out. And something interesting is you can exchange those hands with Aurora's. They're compatible in a sense. So if you want to give her open palms and two fists for Aurora, you can exchange, you can play with those hands if you want. Now, because she can only move at the waist, torso here, it does kind of limit what you can do with the pausing with her. Although, yeah, she can look a bit dynamic. Her hip articulation is good enough. Again, the plastic used for the upper thighs and the lower ones is not the same. It's not the same white. I'm not sure if it's easy for you guys to see this on camera. It's not the same white, so it looks atrocious. And you can really see the cut here, the difference in the color. She does have swivels at the thighs, and she has double knee articulation here. I've always loved this character in comics. I think John Byrne created a magnificent, strong female lead here. She was a role model for me. I really loved her as a kid. Thought she was special. I've never seen a character like her. Obviously, the pins are white, which means that on the outside here, they're not painted, so they don't look good. But this is before Hasbro and Marvel Legend did pinless joints everywhere. So that's what we have. It doesn't look good on this leg here, which is painted red, but the base plastic is white. On this side, because it's all white, it doesn't really matter. And finally, the ankle articulations are quite good here. And she can rock here. I don't want to push them too hard. It looks like it could break. Can we pause this figure and make her look dynamic now? Let's try. She leads Alpha Flight in a fight. Yes. In terms of height, she's about the same height as the other female action figures, so a bit shorter than the male. As I mentioned, she came with the Alpha Flight set, except for Guardian, who came on his own. I don't have a Sasquatch. I used to have one, the Toy Biz version. I don't have the Marvel Legend one. Eventually, I'll get it. I'm pretty sure that Marvel will release him at one point. That sculpt has to be used. I'll get him there then. So this is Vindicator for you. Often the leader of Alpha Flight. A great character in comics, not a great character in action figure form. This wasn't the first Vindicator action figure created. There was a Toy Biz version, but it was a 4-inch version, 4 to 5-inch version of Vindicator. So this is the only Vindicator that you have in the 1/12 scale. If you really like the character like me, that's the only opportunity you can have it. Now, when I bought this set, it's an exclusive from Amazon. I was able to buy it for $111 Canadian. That's a very good price for this set, which retail for much more originally, at least 150 Canadian. They still have several copies on Amazon.ca or Amazon.com. It's still available. The price goes up and down. You just have to watch for Amazon to see when they give you a discount or not. This is what I did before I got the set. I really watched, and when I saw that it was $111, I snapped it right away. Those figures are not the best quality Marvel Legend action figures. They do come in a beautiful box set. It's like a comic book cover with a double flap that you open, and they have comic book art. It's a gorgeous box. I did not throw it away. I always throw my boxes. There's way too many of them. In this case, I kept it. It's a nice display piece if you want to put back the action figures inside of it. But I'm an opener, so the figures are not sitting in it. I have to say the package is very beautiful. So I like this figure. I like the set, the entire team. I'm a Canadian, as you guys can guess. I've always liked Alpha Flight as a Canadian kid. It was the team. Marvel did a wonderful team when they created those guys. For a Canadian kid to have characters that feel familiar to him, at least kind of in a way. So this was Vindicator, the leader of Alpha Flight. Sometimes it's also Guardian. It switches between the two of them often. So this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002.